All right. How are we doing, everybody? Got some sumolings here. Let's see where y'all are coming in from. We're gonna get started in just a minute. Let us know if our audio is good, if you can see us, hear us. Got some folks flowing in right now. Awesome. Cool, cool. Floodgates are open.
Oh, here they come.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Super excited to get started today. Again, I am Chris from AppSumo. Super excited for the webinar. Today we have Tommy from ClickMinded who's on here with us. We also have Eduardo from his team as well, who's going to be in the chat helping out there. If you guys don't know, ClickMinded is an online course that teaches you all the things you need to know about SEO to help you increase your traffic and conversions. This tool is available right now, or this course rather, is available on AppSumo for just $149. It's an awesome course. We've helped them on AppSumo a bunch of times. It's been great for us. And yeah, so before we get started, I just want to say this replay for the webinar will be going out later today. If you have to bounce out at any time, will be recorded. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop those in the question box as we're going through this today. But yeah, want to thank Tommy for joining us. Excited to get going.
Yeah, Chris, thanks so much for having me, my man. Appreciate it.
Of course, coming in all the way from Hawaii, from what you said.
Yeah, it is very early right now in Hawaii, so I'm breaking my back to be on this webinar. The sun's coming up right now, so if my background changes a little bit, that's
Right.
that's why.
Perfect. Well, thanks for taking the time. So before we go into actually what ClickMinded is and what it's included in the course, I think people would be excited to know about your background, what brought you here. I know you were with PayPal, with Airbnb. Would love to hear a bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a massive SEO nerd. I've been doing search engine optimization for about 10 years. I previously managed SEO at PayPal and Airbnb. ClickMinded started as a side project while I was at PayPal. My boss had asked me to help teach some of my colleagues in PayPal how search engine optimization works. It kind of started as an offline course. It moved into an online course, and we're now on year 8. We've expanded to more digital marketing courses, and we teach startups, entrepreneurs, and marketers how to do digital marketing. SEO is our like flagship course. It's like the kind of core thing that we do. It's our primary course. It's what most of our users are in, and it's kind of the thing that we specialize in the most. Just cool stories about AppSumo. So we were talking before, this is our 6th or 7th deal with you guys, which is crazy. You're our brother from another mother. And, we were joking about this before, like in the early days, the first version of our AppSumo deal, we just kind of sent all of our content over to your team and you hacked together like a learning management system back in like 2012. It was like, way more budget than it is now, but now we're a full-fledged operation. We kind of update the course as much as we need to, and 1/3 of all ClickMinded users have come through AppSumo. So we love you guys. We didn't used to always do these super fancy webinars, and you're a much more polished operation now than you were back in my day, right?
Goes both ways.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we're all growing up a little bit, but no, we're super fired up to be here. So quick highlights about the deal. This is the lowest price we offer this all year. It's kind of a tradition to work with you guys. We do this once a year, and then there's no exceptions after that. We close it. And it's not just the SEO course, right? So we also include our sales funnel course, which is taught by Jim Huffman. He's a growth mentor at Techstars, the startup accelerator. And we have another product called our SOP Library with 3 months access to that. So I'll be talking about all that as well a little bit later. But yeah, the whole deal encompasses 2 courses and this kind of monthly ongoing product we have called the SOP Library. And we're really excited to work with you guys on this one again.
Heck yeah. So who is this built for? Like, who is the ideal audience for this course?
Yeah, so we have 3 different types of customer avatars that enroll. It's entrepreneurs is the first one, consultants or agencies, right? At agencies that are like kind of 2 to 99 employees, and in-house marketers. So maybe you're on an actual team running the marketing operations at a larger company. Those are kind of the 3 core people that end up enrolling.
Got it. All right. And then So from like the highest level, if you're pitching this to somebody, like what is the outcome that they're getting? If they get this course, they go through it at the end, where are they that's different from before?
Yeah, so we focus on beginner to intermediate understanding of search engine optimization. And I think the big thing to think about is like, you absolutely do not need this course, right? Like there's a wide range of ways to learn digital marketing, right? You could go with free YouTube videos all the way up to $100,000 master's degrees at universities, right? So there's a lot of different kind of ways to go about this. You can also just set up your own site, your own Squarespace or Wix or WordPress site and try and figure it out on your own. You absolutely don't need this. What we really do here is optimize for speed. If you're trying to learn faster, or you're trying to train up a team, that's sort of where the space we play in. The other thing that we include is lifetime access and free updates for life. So the course was just updated in August 2019, and it's kind of our responsibility to keep stuff up to date, right? So we stay on top of everything. We push updates to your account. We keep our standard operating procedures updated. And so when you have all this, you kind of outsource the worry to us. And so if you're kind of somewhat familiar with SEO, or you don't have a full understanding of it, the basic idea here is once you've completed the course, you should be able to do all of your keyword research and keyword mapping, setting up your content strategy for that. You should be able to have all your rank tracking in place, and you should start to see movements up in traffic. It depends on your business and how competitive it is, but most people start to see results within 1 to 3 months after they've taken the course. Again, it really depends. If you're going for payday loans and class action lawsuit keywords and CBD oil, it's going to be really competitive. And if you're a local coffee shop in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, it's going to be a little bit easier, right? So it really sort of depends on your vertical and your business.
Yeah. Well, I think that's such a key, especially to a course like this, where like the environment for SEO is always changing. And so the fact that they don't have to be worried about, if I get this, it's not going to be relevant a couple of years from now. It's you guys are constantly updating it. You guys are the ones doing the research, figuring out everything that's the most up-to-date 2019, 2020 friendly stuff. And then they can just go to this one hub where everything's already been filtered for you. And it's just the stuff you need to know. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how we like to do it. And you can see on the deal page now, users from all the way back 2012, 2013 that enrolled then, and they're still getting the updates now. And we've asked some of them to just let everyone know that they're still getting the updates. And they are, right? So like it's kind of a one-time buy, and you'll have access to it forever, whenever we update it.
Got it. So somebody who bought this way back in the day when you first launched, or any of the previous launches, they don't need to get this deal because it's already included in what they already have.
Yep, they're still getting updates. We sent them, people that are enrolled in 2012 got an email from us last week saying, hey, there's free stuff in your account. So it's kind of cool. It's cool to do it. Yeah.
Taking care of them for life. A true lifetime deal. That's awesome.
Trying to.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's, I'm sure people would love to kind of see what it looks like, get the insider sneak preview. So yeah, if you want to share the screen, and I can turn off my video to not take up any of that bandwidth.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop. Can you see my screen okay, Chris?
Yeah, I got you. And for anybody in the chat, if you guys do have any of those questions, feel free to just drop them in the question box, and we can circle back to those once we wrap up the demo. But over to you, Tommy.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks a lot. So yeah, if you head over to clickminded.com, you can kind of see our site. You can actually enroll in a little mini course if you'd like to for free. You can click start for free right there and grab it. But just to show you a couple examples of how this works. So this is the back end behind the scenes of your course dashboard. We have a number of different courses. We're offering 2 on this deal in our SOP library. You'll have progress indicators on each one of these courses. We love to use high quality photography for these things, just as a nice little touch. But in the individual courses, you'll sort of see a dashboard here. So whether or not you've completed a lecture is listed there, and you can jump into each one of these courses. Well, one of the pieces of feedback we've gotten over the years that people really like is that it's not just, the SEO course is 6 or 7 hours long, and it's not just like 4 videos that you have to parse through. It's really easy to jump in and out of stuff. So we recommend going through the whole course, but then if you want to jump in on just one particular section, like, oh, what was that thing about image tags and alt tags and file names again? Or, oh, what was that thing on linked neighborhoods? It's very easy to just kind of jump right back in. And so we can jump into a couple of these. We have a number of new stuff we pushed out just this month as well. We've marked those, appended those with the term new. So a whole new stuff around keyword research and keyword mapping, reputation management, how we do enterprise link building, and a really deep dive on Hrefs, one of our favorite link analysis tools, is all listed in here. So you can see that, take a look for yourself, and jump in just to show you how some of these look. We can go ahead and jump into an actual lecture. So on these individual lectures, we try and use, we might get some volume here that we can pause in a minute. My screen's going a little slow because we're on this webinar here. But the way we basically do this is we have our video, foundational, right? And so you can sort of scrub through it as you need to. Look at this clown. And so anytime we have resources in the actual content, we'll have links to them down below. All the slides are listed down here, so you can check those out. You can download them as well, right? So the slides are all downloadable. Some people like to print them out and take physical offline notes, which is totally cool. And then we have quizzes at the end of each lecture, right? And so as you go along, you can sort of answer things and make sure that you're understanding it, right? And you'll be told whether or not you're right or wrong. Then we have a final exam at the end, our certification, which I can talk about a little bit later. And go ahead and click complete and continue, and you'll move on to the next lecture. So that's sort of how it works there. That's the SEO course. We cover a ton of different topics on SEO, right? Introduction to organic search, keyword research, document relevancy, link building and authority, enterprise link building, exactly how to launch new link building campaigns, link building walkthroughs. All this stuff is brand new as of this month. Technical optimization, the nuts and bolts of the behind the scenes technical stuff, analytics and tracking, all the tools and services that we recommend. We have a local SEO mini course that's included. We have a Pinterest SEO mini course that's included, a YouTube SEO mini course that's included, Amazon SEO mini course that's included. If you're starting a brand new site from scratch, we create a comprehensive walkthrough on how to start a brand new WordPress site from scratch, and all the way up to buying the domain name, right? Doing the keyword research to pick the domain name, and a bunch of different audits and specialist qualifications as well. So that's the SEO course. That's kind of the core course. We also have our sales funnel course. The way to think about the sales funnel course is kind of the way to optimize your funnel. Like you can look at this and really make sure your funnel is really locked in and razor sharp before you even start bringing traffic to your site. It's taught by Jim Huffman, the growth mentor from the Startup Accelerator Techstars. If you're familiar with sales funnels, this one may not be as valuable, but if you're on the newer to intermediate side of digital marketing, this one's absolutely critical. To be honest, this is my favorite course. I think Jim's course is more fun than mine. It's more interesting than mine. Top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel, the goals and metrics that you'd set up for your site, right? A bunch of different examples of other companies that are doing this well. And then a really deep dive on everything related to the top of the funnel, right? Writing headlines that convert, distribution, other forms of great content, right? Really deep dive on middle funnel, right? Webinars, content upgrade, and mini courses, demo products, starting a trial, private communities. Really deep dive on the bottom funnel, right? Limited time offers, bundles, upsells, waitlists, cross sells, pre-sales, how all that works. Managing your own marketing, tools and services, and recommendations there. So it's kind of the same framework with Jim's course. The way he lays it out there is very similar to how we lay it out. Right, so we can just open this up. You can see here is an overview lecture. We have the slides here, same deal. You can download them, check them out as you go along. There's quizzes at the end of each one, and each of the lectures are here. The mix of the teacher on video in front of the laptop, sometimes voice over slides. It's kind of a mix. It depends on the lecture. Cool. So those are the two courses. And then the big one, this is a new one, and it's pretty unique to us, and we really love this. This is our SOP library. There's been a lot of questions about this. So I'll just fly through this, and then we can switch over to Q&A, Chris, if that works for you. So the SOP library, the basic idea here was we wanted a product for ourselves, right? SOP, for the uninitiated, stands for Standard Operating Procedure. It's just a fancy way to say like a really comprehensive checklist. And the idea here is we've done a lot of the work for you. And so we have a number of different digital marketing SOPs that you can use to implement. So the high level idea is you're taking the courses, you're getting a good understanding of how they work, but the SOPs are where you actually get your hands dirty. This is where you actually tactically execute. If you're someone who enjoys doing that, or you're a solopreneur, you're definitely going to need this. If you just want a high level understanding of how it all works, you would take the courses and then pass off the SOPs to your staff, right? So just some examples of some of our SOPs, right? Adding Google Tag Manager to a WordPress site, adding Google Analytics to a site using Google Tag Manager, right? Excluding your own traffic from Google Analytics, setting up cross-domain tracking with Google Tag Manager. Those are our analytics one. How about content marketing, right? So how to create awesome blog post outlines, starting and managing an editorial calendar, how to create editorial guidelines for guest bloggers, creating a lead generation landing page, using Google Optimize to run A/B split testing, right? Structure, running, and analyzing A/B testing on your site. We got some email marketing SOPs, right? Setting up an amazing welcome email with MailChimp, growing your email list with a content upgrade pop-up, sending bulk outreach emails with Gmail. Operations SOPs, this is like more kind of basic digital marketing ones. Install Sumo on any site using Google Tag Manager, getting started with team password management, managing user access for Google Analytics 360, right? Paid acquisition SOPs, SEO SOPs, right? Ton of them. Page level SEO audit, keyword research, launching a guest blogging link building campaign, performing on-page optimization. There's a ton of these here. So we can just dive into how some of these look. So here's one, SOP number 19, launching an infographic link building campaign. So this is the actual lecture, right? We sort of have it as an embedded file. And so you can grab this SOP, take a look at it here. You can use this in the actual course, or we actually offer the Google Docs version as well, right? So the way we lay these out, we kind of do the who, what, where, when, why at the top. Okay, so what's the goal? The goal is to establish a process to find guestographic opportunities. Those are like infographic guest posting, right? And reach out to the respective site owners. What's the ideal outcome? You'll be able to consistently build high quality, not spammy contextual backlinks. Any prerequisites you need, why it's important, where it's done, when this is done, and who does this. This is a big one here. So you can see this as we move all the way down. This is a 21-page SOP. And you can take these and make a copy. So you make a copy for yourself. And that's totally fine. You can go in, right, delete our logo, put your logo on it, use it for clients. That's totally fine. We know you're going to do it anyway, so so that's totally fine. And yeah, it's on us to keep these up to date, right? So we always will have the most up-to-date version of this. We're always reevaluating these processes and making sure they're very up to date. That's launching a guestographic link building campaign. Here's another one, YouTube video optimization, another 21-page one. We have the file embedded here in the course lecture, but you can also open it up in Google Docs as well, right? So performing YouTube video optimization, when it was last updated or reviewed and how long it takes to do, about 20 minutes. We usually include a dorky little GIF at the top. And then the who, what, where, when, why. What's the goal? What's the ideal outcome? Prerequisites. Why is it important? Where is it done? When is it done? Who does this? So another massive document, 21 pages, and it's just step-by-step process, everything you need to do to optimize a YouTube video for YouTube's search engine, right? We have a ton of these. We have more than 75 SOPs in our library right now, and we're adding more every single month. Sending bulk outreach emails with Gmail. So here's another one. I'm gonna roll in here, check these out, the who, what, where, when, why at the top. And again, it's the kind of the same process. As you go along, you can check off the boxes, right? So as you do them, you can sort of check them off, make sure you're doing them. We call these SOPs off the street ready. It means that if you don't know anything about digital marketing, but you can like read and walk and type and breathe on your own, you can do these. They're stupid simple, and we tell you just exactly what you need to do. You just need to follow the instructions. So you can give these to staff, you can give them to a virtual assistant, something like that, or you can do them yourself. But the feedback we got on the courses was like, hey, this is great, but how do I get started? And that's sort of what the SOP library is for. It's the actual implementation of the tactics. Let's do one last one, and then we can switch it over to Q&A, Chris, which is adding Google Tag Manager to a WordPress site. So when we last updated it, how long it takes to do, the who, what, where, when, why, what's the goal, what's the ideal outcome, any prerequisites, why is it important, where is it done, when is it done, who does it. Again, you can just make a copy, no problem. Put your own logo on it, that's totally fine. Give it to clients, tell the clients you did all the work, and take all the credit, and that is totally fine. And again, we keep these up to date. The onus is on us to make sure we have the most effective, efficient process behind the scenes. So that's kind of the idea. And I'll turn off my screen share in just a minute. We have the SEO course, the sales funnel course, and the 3-month access to the SOP library. And that's kind of how it all looks on the back end. So just switch over my screen here. Yeah, is that helpful?
Hey, yeah, no, that's awesome. I didn't realize the way the SOP library is built out. I think that's super cool because that's something that when I joined AppSumo became like a big obsession for the team, especially as we grew, like just the business running on SOPs. And it was just continue like, if you were doing something, you need to turn it into an SOP. And now everything is that way. If something is missed, it's like, hey, is there an SOP? That if there is, why didn't you follow it? If there isn't, why don't we have one? So I think that's awesome that you guys are including that. Where did that come from? Were those like business SOPs you guys were using, or were they created specifically for the course? How did those come about?
Yeah, so the SOP library was really something we wanted for ourselves, and we ended up just getting a ton of hearing back from a lot of users that that would be really valuable, and so we ended up turning it into a product. The other piece of it, of where it originated from, was actually being really annoyed with the current digital marketing industry, right? Like, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a number of digital marketing blogs out there that are really annoying. They publish content all the time. Sometimes they're publishing 5 blog posts a day, and it's just not useful, right? It's like yet another blog post on how to massively increase your Twitter followers, and a lot of stuff that just doesn't really help your business. These really, okay, I'll just say it, like crappy Business Insider articles and like entrepreneur.com and a lot of this stuff that's just like, it's incredibly vanity metric sort of entrepreneur focused stuff. It's not people that are actually implementing the hard work, right? So we decided to move the business towards a direction of helping entrepreneurs actually tactically implement a lot of the dirty work, the dirty details. And so the onus is on us to make sure the process is perfect, and then we can kind of hand it over to you to actually implement. So we wanted it for ourselves. Turns out our users wanted it even more than us. And then now it's kind of like this really core flagship product we have that everyone seems to love, and we're really happy with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, those articles can be really frustrating. Yeah, know about SEO, and it's like, get backlinks, rank high, and it's like, oh
Right.
yes, how do I do that? I already know that part.
Right,
so that's
exactly.
cool that that's included. If you want to navigate to the AppSumo page, and we can go over what's actually included in the offer, so we can everyone can see that.
Sure. Yeah. Do you want me to share my screen as well?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, so you want me to just sort of walk through what we're offering here, Chris?
Yeah, if you want to scroll down towards the end where we actually have that box of what's included, and
Yes.
right there, and then we can kind of go through in case anyone has any questions.
Yeah, sure. So our SEO course was normally $497. The sales funnel course normally $497, and the SOP library is normally $97 a month. So we're doing lifetime access to the SEO course, lifetime access to the sales funnel course, and 3 months access to the SOP library. All in, that's $1,285. And we're doing it for $149 with AppSumo. You guys, as you are well aware, Chris, you beat us up every single year, and you demand we do an awesome deal for the Sumo link. So we always do one. We're crying by the end of it. I'm like bloody and broken and in the hospital by the time I'm done negotiating with you guys. But yeah, we do it. But yes, you get lifetime access to all those, 3 months access to the SOP library. A lot of people say, hey, how much is the price afterwards? It's $97 a month, but we actually don't keep your credit card on file. So there's no automated billing afterwards. What'll happen is you'll just lose access to it and you need to resubscribe. We're very confident that you will resubscribe because we're so proud of it, but we don't have your card on file, and we won't be like billing you afterwards. It's just sort of this one-time fee, and then you can decide later on if you want to continue. One other thing to keep in mind that some people ask about is our certification. So really high level, just to be super direct, in general, you don't need digital marketing certification. You don't need an SEO certification. You don't need a digital marketing certification. They're really not valuable. If you're applying for a job, right, or anything like that, most people are going to be looking at your portfolio or work you've done in the past. We've been very hesitant to offer the certification for a while because we were kind of grumpy about the state of it. We saw a lot of low quality providers creating a certification, and we were kind of saying like, okay, this is BS. But we got a lot of feedback from users for a number of reasons. One is a lot of people, their employer won't reimburse them unless they can prove they took the course. The other one is for more entry-level people. If you're starting a new career and this is brand new for you, some people want to kind of pad their resume a little bit and show people that they've done something, right? So we do offer a certification. The caveat there is if you're an entrepreneur, you should probably be more focused on your business than earning the certification. But if you want to take it, it's there. It's included for free in all the courses. The basic idea is you take the full course and there's a final exam at the end. If you get an 80% or higher, you earn the certification. It integrates directly with LinkedIn. We have about 1,000 people that have added our certifications onto LinkedIn. There's one for both the SEO course and the sales funnel course. So some people care about this a lot. Some people don't care about it at all, but it's included for free. You get unlimited tries to take it. And if it's something that you're interested in, it's there for you. Just a couple other quick things. Yeah, downloadable slides for each one, quizzes at the end of each lecture. It's 60-day money-back guarantee and unlimited lifetime access and free updates for life. So like I said before, users that have enrolled in 2012 or 2013, they were getting free updates as of last week. The course was updated August 2019 and will continue to be updated as we go forward.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for going through that. Okay, we got some questions for you. You ready?
All right. What do we got?
Okay. So how does this support different languages, Spanish, Chinese, things like that?
Yeah, good question. So the courses are taught in English, so we don't have support for any other languages yet. But a lot of people ask, they say, hey, my customers speak Spanish, German, Chinese. Is this applicable? The answer in general is yes. Like while the course is taught in English and a lot of the tools are in English, the third-party data that we use comes from Google, and that is kind of language agnostic, right? So as long as you can understand the course in English, if you're a German in Germany focusing on German customers, you absolutely can translate all of these things over to it. The two exceptions I want to make are with China and Korea. And maybe I'll throw in Japan in there as well. So in general, there's kind of like a Google universe, and then there's like a non-Google universe. And so like Baidu is the primary search engine in China, and Naver is the primary search engine in Korea. If you're focusing on China, Japan, or Korea, email us first before you enroll, because there are some exceptions there. It really is more of a sort of Google-focused SEO course. And so if you're one of those three countries, it might not be as applicable to you. But in general, outside of those three Asian countries, everything else is applicable.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, next question. Is this course content relevant and actionable no matter what website platform you're using, such as Squarespace, WordPress, etc.?
Yeah, really great question. So the answer is yes. We definitely have certain recommendations and platforms you should avoid. Sometimes you can't avoid them. Sometimes your boss, your company says you have to use Wix, you have to use Squarespace. We really love WordPress, but yes, everything is applicable to all of these. You will have to make some modifications in some situations. Wix, to be frank, in general, isn't as SEO friendly as some other sites, right? So as some other content management systems. So yes, it's always applicable, but we're always gonna have recommendations for our favorites.
Cool. All right, awesome. And then that was another question that someone had is basically, are there required or recommended third-party tools that throughout the course you're saying you should use this? And then if there are, do I need to be using those? Are there alternatives? Kind of like, I guess they want to know how expensive that's going to be, how much other stuff they're going to have to set up as well.
Right. What's the bottom line, Tommy? How much is this going to cost me, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So the kind of the opening lecture of the course is one we call environment setup, where we say all of the kind of tools and plugins and things that you should use. We start by giving you all the free ones first. And so we say, okay, here's everything that you should install. Start with the free ones first. Don't pay for anything yet. Like kind of go through the course and don't pay for anything yet. Once you get going, you don't have to sign up for any additional tools. You absolutely can do this for free for no additional cost, but I would never recommend that, because there's going to be a handful of tools that save you so much time and are so much more accurate that it would be ludicrous to not use them, right? So in general, the average user is going to be spending an additional $20 to $150 a month. You don't have to, but it's probably a dumb business move not to. And there's not it's not affiliate deals with us or anything like that. It's just we just show you what we use, right? There's rank tracking tools. A great example is rank tracking. Do you need to use a rank tracker? No. Could you manually open up incognito mode and manually log your keywords every day? Yes, you could. Should you? No. If your time is worth more than 50 cents an hour, no, you shouldn't, right? So, so there's going to be tools. Yeah, in general, most people can get away with between $20 and $150 a month, but you don't have to start that way. You can always start at zero and ramp up as your business starts to grow. So that's totally cool.
Cool. So you said you start off, you go through kind of the staging, what you need to set up, start with the free stuff, then you can go through the rest of the content. And then if you're like, okay, this makes sense, I want to implement it, then you can start kind of doing it piecemeal and building up from there.
Exactly. Yep. That's correct.
Awesome. All right. Next one is like the level of advancement somebody should have when they're going into this course. Is it if you know absolutely nothing about SEO and you've kind of heard it's something you should do for your business, or do you need to be a bit further along? How would you place that?
Yeah, so I would go the other spectrum, which I would say if you're an advanced SEO, I would not enroll in this course.
Cool.
I don't think you're going to get enough. That's not necessarily true. We do have advanced SEOs that do really enjoy it a lot, but they're definitely the ones that will be more grumpy and say, like, you know, what about this? What about that? I already knew that, right? We really focus on beginner to intermediate, people who maybe they're confused or they've heard conflicting things. Maybe they've hired an SEO agency or consultant in the past that was kind of shady or kind of crappy. That's sort of who we focus on. So if you have absolutely no experience, this course will be fine for you. There is some jargon that you might have to catch up on. You might be a little bit slower than everyone else, but ultimately it'll work for you. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. This might be an obvious one, but how do you measure like the results and the impact of SEO or like optimizing your site or your blogs or whatever for SEO?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's going to depend on your business, but the easy one is increase in organic non-brand traffic, right? So like there's metrics before then, right? You can measure rankings first, and then traffic second, and then sales derived from organic search is the big one. Most people start with rankings. It's like I'm ranking 80 for this keyword, and now I'm suddenly ranking 4. That's an improvement, right? But the big ultimate KPIs you'll probably be monitoring are sales derived from organic search.
Got it. Okay, cool. What are your favorite apps for keyword research?
Good question. We really love kwfinder.com and hrefs.com. We have detailed walkthroughs of both of those. Those are my two favorite tools. They kind of have pros and cons to each of them, but those are two of my favorites, KW Finder and Ahrefs.
Got it. Awesome. All right. I'm not sure. It says, do you go through how to use expired domains?
We don't. No, that's not a lecture that we cover. I would categorize that as on the more advanced side, and kind of you should definitely have everything else done in your sort of wheelhouse before you're going for expired domains. Steven, if you want to email me, I personally am interested in expired domains and I'm playing with some of that stuff, but that's not in our course now. But if you want to email us, hello@clickminded.com, happy to chat more about that.
Awesome. All right. For the funnel course, I guess looking for some more information on that, like what's included in that? What's the outcomes of that course? How's that function and all that? Is it as big of a course as the SEO one? How comparison, all that?
Yeah, the sales funnel course is a little bit shorter. It's about 4 hours. And the idea here is, we got a bunch of feedback on, okay, if you're driving traffic to your site, that's great. But if you're not capturing email addresses, if you're not closing sales, right? If people are bouncing right away, what are you doing, right? And so the way to think about that is like, right, your website is a funnel. And if it's leaking, it doesn't matter how much traffic you pour onto it, right? And so another way to talk about sales funnels would be kind of digital marketing 101 or 201 sort of course. The basic understanding your customer avatar, moving them progressively from the top of funnel to the middle funnel to the bottom funnel, coming up with offers that sort of capture them and sort of drip out offers to them slowly, that kind of stuff. So Jim Huffman, he was like a former Wall Street guy, turned into a tech startup guy, and he mentors all these startups in the Startup Accelerator, Techstars, and he just does a really good overview of everything you need to be thinking about. In past AppSumo deals, we actually didn't offer this. It was just the SEO course at the same price. We're sort of tacking this course on for free because you guys twist our arm every year. And so we're giving this to all the Sumo links for free. Just kind of sanity check and make sure that they're not missing anything big before they start pouring a bunch of traffic onto their site.
Yeah, makes sense. That's awesome. How often do you update the course? Is it once a year, once a month, once a week?
Yeah, so we reserve the right to change the update cadence. Like, we do it whenever it's necessary. But the basic idea is we do one mega update every year and then lots of kind of smaller updates as we need to, right? So little updates when little things happen and sort of quick patches and fixes as things go on, and sort of like a more massive update once a year. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you said the sales funnel course is about 4 hours. How big is the SEO one? How long does that take to go through?
Yeah, about 6 hours. Yeah.
6 hours. Okay, awesome. And if people are coming up with questions or they get stuck, what's the best way to get support and help going through the course?
Yeah, if it's an SEO question, you can email me directly. If you're enrolled, that's totally cool. Or anyone on the team as well. We have a little help function down at the bottom right of every lecture. You can email us at any time, and we guarantee 24-hour response time, but we're usually we're so nerdy. We're usually replying about 30 minutes. It's pretty fast.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we got another one? All right. From your experience, what's your advice for the expectation for a competitive long tail keyword to rank 6 to 12 months or more? Is that covered in the course?
Timing is not covered in the course, and the reason why is just we do teach you how to evaluate the competitiveness of a keyword, right? So how frequently is it searched for, right? How commercial is the intent? How many other how competitive are the other domains in the SERPs, and sort of understanding like how you should go about with your keyword prioritization. We talk about how to implement that process, but to give a benchmark around it takes 6 months for a long tail keyword, it's just too hard, because like I said before, coffee shop Lima, Peru in Spanish and mesothelioma attorney Chicago are like, you're like, one is.
Your examples are very specific.
I mean, one has a customer lifetime value of $2 and the other one has a customer lifetime value of 10 million. It's just too crazy to give broad advice like this. But what we do is teach the fundamentals of how to go through the process of keyword prioritization. And so that's included in the course.
Cool. Awesome. Oliver, for asking, yes, there will be a recording. We'll be sending it out later today. So if you have to pop out, you'll get an email this afternoon with the recording for you. All right. What do you think, just personally in the course, is like the most valuable thing that you're teaching? Like, is there one lesson that you find is like either not taught anywhere or just like the most valuable kind of core of what you're teaching?
Ooh, interesting. That's cool. So I mean, we love our SOP library. We haven't seen anyone else doing this yet. We wanted it for ourselves. This is what you're supposed to do when you create a startup, right? You create a product for yourself, you solve your own problem, and then you turn it around. This is like the one thing we're like, oh, wow, crap, this worked, right? This is great. So we love the SOP library. The one thing I think we do that is kind of cool that I love is we have a lecture towards the end called How to Start a New Site from Scratch. And some people jump to this lecture right away. This is what they want to do right away. The basic idea is like, it's an over-the-shoulder tutorial of the exact step-by-step process. Like, here's my idea. Here's how I find my domain. Here's the host that I use. Here's how I get it live. Here's how I implement everything, down to the WordPress theme, down to how we do the keyword research, like every single thing to actually get a site live. One of the fastest way to learn all this stuff, and I will admit, if you take the course and you're just sitting back and you're watching and you're not taking notes and you're not implementing, you're not going to learn, right? And so no matter how good the course is, if you're watching it the way you watch Netflix, it's not going to be valuable. So one of the most valuable things you can do is create a sandbox to play in, to create your own site, to try stuff out on and run experiments on. So we kind of go through the theory and then we say, okay, enough BSing, let's actually do the work, right? And then we go through the process of actually doing the work. And so a lot of people jump to that right away, and that's the most valuable part because they pick a topic they're interested in, they have a site live by the end of the day, right? They thought it would take them years to get a website up, and they're like, oh my God, this is so valuable. And then they have an environment to play in. So we really focus on the actual technical implementation. We have that walkthrough on how to do that, and we've got a lot of good feedback that it was the most valuable part of the course.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that is a really cool like hidden benefit, because you see SEO course and you might be like, all right, well, I don't even know how to get that up. And it's like, well, you can learn all of that in here and then optimize that site right there. So that's super cool. That makes sense. Let's see, any other questions? Yeah, I guess wanting to know how long it takes folks to complete it, which I guess it'd be 6 hours. So it just depends on how long it takes you to go through 6 hours of material.
Yeah, and there's also other things too. So the SOPs can be really long. So if you count that in the course, those can add to it. But there's also 1.5x and 2x speed. So if you want to turn on Alvin and the Chipmunks mode and get us to go really fast, and you can do that as well and cut it down in half. It's also segmented a lot, as we showed. So if there's stuff you already know and you have it on 1.5x speed, you could skip lectures and have it going faster, and you can move through it really fast. So it just sort of depends on what you want to do. Some people, they want to blast through it all and never look at it again. Other people check in once a month for 4 years, right? It kind of just depends on what your style is.
And do you guys send out notifications when the course is updated, or how do folks get that?
Yep, you'll get a notification from us when we push new content into your account.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so same question for the SOPs. Do you have like a favorite SOP or one that you use the most often or have gotten the best feedback on?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, so we get broad feedback about the SOP library that people really seem to enjoy it. I think my favorite takeaway from the SOP library is actually the ones that are the most helpful are the ones that are the least sexy, right? So like there's a lot of people who like the sexy ones are like creating an editorial calendar or creating a social media calendar, right? Yeah. And like we're proud of those. Those are great and you can grab those. But it would be fairly straightforward to create one of those on your own just using Google Sheets, right? But some of the other ones we have, like how to implement conversion events on Google Analytics, or how to do cross-domain tracking, right? This stuff is not the stuff you would talk to your friends with at the bar about. You would not impress anyone by talking about this stuff, but it is critical to your business if you're using multiple subdomains and you need cross-domain tracking. You need this, right? You're dead in the water without it. And so I think our most valuable SOPs are the ones that are the most boring and the most behind the scenes, the most engineering focused, that people don't really talk about much, or they might not even seek them out very much. But once they have them, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I would have had to do this on my own, right? It's like a lot of that stuff that we kind of focus on.
Yeah, well, and even if you know how to do something, you can't scale unless you have SOPs like this to be able to hand off to somebody. The fact that you guys already have that built out, it's like, because that's what took us at AppSumo probably like the past 2 years, and we're still like, we do a deal setup summit every 6 months where like the whole team sits down and we go through the entire flow of like when we initially talk to a partner to actually getting it live on the site and sending the emails. And it's, if you don't have a process for that, and every time you're just starting from scratch and trying to remember how everything works, it's like balls are going to get dropped and then you can't scale outside of yourself. So the fact that you're already giving this stuff to people, and then even if they know how to do it, they can just hand it off to somebody else. Now they've freed themselves from that and can focus on other areas of the business.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's the difference between being the solopreneur or entrepreneur versus like an actual company with an actual team and actual processes. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Did we get another one that popped in? Okay, we did get another. How advanced is the Pinterest SEO training? Is it the very latest?
So with the Pinterest SEO stuff, the way we teach this is more about search engine optimization is not just Google on your desktop, right? Search engine optimization is the act of moving up your documents on any modern web application, right? So a lot more things need SEO than you think, right? There's YouTube SEO, right? There's Google Images SEO. There's Amazon SEO. There's Pinterest SEO. There's App Store optimization, right? There's Airbnb SEO. There's Quora SEO. Any modern web application that needs to like figure out how to rank documents has to solve this problem. Pinterest, we have covered. And I think the basic idea is like we teach the core concept of search engine optimization, and then we do a deep dive on a couple other ones. So local SEO, Amazon SEO, Pinterest SEO. If I'm curious, whoever asked that, check it out and do let us know what you think about it. But the basic idea is it's more of a mini course rather than a comprehensive course. The SEO course is like the foundations, and then we do these miniature deep dives on small optimizations you need to make on each one: local SEO, Amazon SEO, Pinterest SEO, things like that.
Awesome. All right. Rick is asking, do you get into voice search optimization?
You know, we don't. I'm personally very interested in voice search. Yeah. Oops, did I lose you? You there?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah. We don't have a voice SEO lecture yet. I'm personally interested in this. I'm playing around with it a lot. I use Google Home 50 times a day. This will probably be something we add soon, but we don't have one now.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Do you have anything on the roadmap that you're focusing on that you want to let people know about, or not?
Yeah, I mean, we just pushed an update out this month, and we covered a number of different topics there. The exact plugins and tools we use in our environment setup, brand new deep dive on Google Search Console, a brand new deep dive on Ahrefs, one of our favorite link building tools, link outreach SOPs, Google Analytics and tracking lectures. So it's all there. You'll see it there in the lecture. We'll have a new update coming soon when we need one. Right now we're taking a break because we just pushed out a bunch of new stuff. We're always adding new SOPs as well. One other thing, Chris, I forgot to mention, we take your requests for SOPs. So if you're a user and you want an SOP, you can request it. And as long as it makes sense for the whole ClickMinded community, we'll create it for you. So that's sort of another hidden benefit. Yeah. It's
like having your own operations team.
Exactly. We're not going to do, if it's an SOP just for your business, we won't do it, but if it's an SOP, a digital marketing SOP that everyone can use, we will, right? So that's kind of
that's awesome. That's very cool. Awesome. Well, that is it for now. So thank you very much for taking the time out of your trip to Hawaii to hop on and share all this with everybody. It's a super awesome deal. We're super excited to have you guys back running this ClickMinded deal. So thank you very much. I'm sure everyone's super appreciative of it getting in there. Do you have any last things to say before we sign off?
No, just that we're fired up for this. If you have questions, you can email us, hello@clickminded.com. This is our once a year sort of thing. We love working with you guys. Like I said before, 1/3 of all of our users are Sumolings. I'm a Sumoling. I was a Sumoling before I started my business. And so it's just kind of surreal to be, being someone browsing through products many years ago, and now working with you guys is great. So we love everyone, and we'll if you do want to enroll, grab this deal now. Otherwise, we'll be back next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time, Tommy. Sumo Links, thank you guys for hopping on and joining us for this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask those on the deal page, or you can reach out to their team directly. But we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks so much.
Sweet. Thanks a lot, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.